Hello, everyone, and welcome to L&D Superfood, where we bring you bites yet deeply nourishing conversations with leaders who are shaping the future of learning. In today's edition, we're diving into how organizations are reimagining learning in an era defined by artificial intelligence, automation, and constant transformation. Joining us is someone who is leading this change from the front. Priyanka Anand, Vice President and Head HR for Southeast Asia, Oceania, and India at Ericsson. A visionary people leader, Priyanka has been instrumental in driving Ericsson's talent transformation across one of the world's most dynamic technology ecosystems. Welcome to the show, Priyanka.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have you with us. And for my first question, Priyanka, I just want to focus on how Ericsson, operates in one of the most dynamic technology ecosystems, where the pace of innovation in networks, AI, and automation is just relentless. So, how are you imagining and reimagining learning and development to ensure that your workforce remains future ready amid such rapid transformation?
It all demands a workforce that really learns continuously. How we transform, how do we make sure that we are building a culture where learning is embedded in everyday work? It happens in every single aspect of their work lives. So it really starts with the mindset. And the mindset is really about making sure that our leaders are living with the behaviors that we define as critical to our culture and how leaders evolve as coaches. And all these avenues really enable our people to explore. In a way, also experiment, right? And how when they acquire newer skills. And then with all of that, they continue to grow. So when leaders really role model learning, it naturally becomes part of the organizational DNA. And there are platforms that we've also created within Ericsson that are leveraging technology to the core, like Career Hub, where people can come together and advertise roles and opportunities and projects, and people can see them and apply for them. Then we also have another technology that we called Eightfold, which creates a bit like a marketplace of open roles and people who can come together. And then we continue to do lots of other things like creating Talent Lens, which creates a huge amount of repository based on data and analytics to map skills, identify adjacencies, and recommend personal development plans for individuals. And such initiatives are again facilitated through a big leverage of technology. So we have created and invested in anytime, any learning, anytime, anywhere learning platform, and we call that degreed, which gives the flexibility to our employees to decide how they want to learn, what they want to learn, and create curated learning pathways. So all that done in terms of investing, giving people the opportunities, getting them on time, on the job learning. Then we start to look at, how are we measuring impact and not just these activities. So we look at outcomes such as, are we internally mobilizing our people? Are we giving them a chance to move around and move into roles based on their learnings and potential versus just proven competence, right? How do we really assess their role readiness? How do we look at innovation that is getting created with these initiatives? And then there are matrices that we define to assess the effectiveness of all these initiatives put together. So, just to give you one data point, nearly 45% of our roles or jobs that we hire for today are filled internally. And
Right.
reflecting on how learning directly translates into growth and business value, this becomes a very important testament
Okay.
for assessing it. So, in a sense, reimagining learning at Ericsson means combining culture, capability, and curiosity.
Absolutely. Very well put. And I think some very important points mentioned by you about hyper personalization and learning. Because, with the shift towards that arena and, learning programs getting more hyper personalized according to the learner's needs and AI enabled learning that you spoke about, can you just tell me how Ericsson is using data and tech to tailor L&D experiences to individual career paths? Can you talk about that a bit more specifically while still aligning with, strategic business priorities?
No, it's a very relevant and a timely question, Ragini. And the focus is on making development deeply personal for our people, our employees, while keeping it aligned to the business needs. So it has to kind of balance both ends, you know.
Right.
How do you make it personal for the employees, while how do you align it to what the business needs are, and how do we deliver to that? So the platforms that I spoke about just in a moment back was about this whole eightfold platform, Talent Lens, Career Hub, Degree. All these form the backbone of this transformation that we are trying to drive, right? But then Career Hub is one of those key initiatives that helps employees explore opportunities, you know, and then they can find jobs and roles that will match with their skills and aspirations. While Eightfold and Degreed kind of curate those personal learning journeys, and the content can be made more relevant and consumable for our employees, right? And the bigger message that we give to our employees is don't just invest in here and now, what makes you good at the job that you need to do, but also look at your future ambitions, future roles, future prospects that you want to build. So it's a combination of driving here and now, but also making it bigger than that. Recently, we've used Career Hub to identify skill adjacencies in cloud architecture. So within months, this engineer, she completed a curated learning path through Degree, because the Degree will give you options on what kind of trainings you can take. And then she also kind of voted and signed up for a stretched assignment in a cloud and software services unit.
Hmm.
Now, when she took the learnings, did the stretch assignment of the project, this kind of internal investment and mobility has been guided through our data enabled learning platforms and learning trajectories that we create. And that's exactly what we're trying to drive. And when you're ready with that, she could eventually move into a full time role in cloud and software services. We are equally focused on responsible AI leverage, right? So all tools are monitored. We are trying to minimize any bias that comes with human judgment, remaining kind of the central to every decision. So it's not about what the tool tells us and we blindly follow it. It's really about making sure that these all become enablers to a well thought through human judgment. And that's how every decision is being anchored. And for us, it's about trusted innovation, using AI to make our systems more inclusive but also effective without losing both empathy, which is very core to our culture, or accountability, a combination of both. AI isn't replacing the human element, it's just amplifying it. AI helps us connect the individual growth with Ericsson's strategic priorities, creating a workforce that's future ready and also purpose driven. Because that's to be is the ultimate proof point that you're both future ready, but you're also fulfilling the purpose. And how do we get the workforce to continue to stay purpose driven is our biggest agenda.
Yeah, I think very, very well put again, Priyanka. And like you said, culture and transformation have to complement each other. So just adding on to that, because Ericsson is a company that thrives on engineering excellence and innovation. So how are you balancing focuses between, building deep technical expertise and cultivating sort of softer human capabilities like creativity, adaptability, and collaborative spirit, and things like that?
Innovation will definitely flourish when technical depth meets human capability. When they both come together, that's why innovation really happens, breathes, and flourishes in an exponential manner, right? So, creativity, adaptability, and collaboration are just as critical as coding and designing a network and so on and so forth. We have a program that we call as Ericsson on the Move, where we are running and nurturing very clear mindset, which is based on curiosity, agility, and openness, right? So we really encourage our people to question status quo, ask lots of queries, co-create, and again learn from each other, because that is important. Because the best learning comes when you work with each other, learn from each other, challenge each other, question each other, right? So it's a cultural shift from perfection to progress, and that's what we really explain to our employees, that when you work towards progress and are very agile in course correcting, innovation will happen. We have a culture where experimentation is valued, as much as expertise. Because if you're all experts and you're not experimenting, you're only solution for here and now. And we think that's not needed. So continue to experiment as much as you become experts in specific areas. Then our leaders are also coaches. And that's what we invest in them to become, right? How do we really build a program that builds on that foundation? And then we help our leaders to become coaches to all the people that they lead, but we also invest in them to become leaders who are leading with empathy and trust, creating an environment where employees can bring their full selves to work. And that was is most important, because when people feel psychologically safe and they can bring their full selves to work, that's when creativity and collaboration thrive, because it's a very well connected, I would say, regime that we are trying to build.
Yeah, you mentioned a very, very crucial point about psychological safety that I think so far has been not mentioned in this show. So, thank you so much for bringing that up. And now, Priyanka, we're about to enter our rapid fire round. So, we have to try to be quick. My first question to you is, what is that one skill that you believe every technology professional should focus on in 2025?
I would say 2025 and ever beyond is learning agility, because the bigger message is technology will continue to evolve faster than any single technical skill, right?
Yeah.
That we can keep up with. So we truly have to become professionals. And if we have to become professionals who are set apart from the rest of the world, our ability to unlearn, relearn, adapt to speed, and have that learning agility will make all the impact.
What's that one learning trend that you think will fade away in the next 5 years?
Uh, to me, it's already a reality now, but it's really about one size fits all, right? Because AI today enables companies to craft hyper personalized learning experiences. When each employee can really curate their own learning preferences, build unique roles, skills, and career goals based on their preferences and aspirations, things will start to evolve.
What's that one book, tool, or resource that has deeply influenced your approach to learning and development? Because a lot of, leaders watch our show and they're looking for recommendations constantly. So would you like to recommend something here?
I learned the best by observing.
Hmm.
Observing how things are being done, by whom, where, when, and how. Then once I observe, how do I experiment whatever I've observed? So the experimenting follows after observing. And then eventually it's really about connecting ideas to real solutions. And if I was to just take it one step further, observing, experimenting, and connecting starts to create the real solutions you're looking for. The other is talking about myself, right? I'm pursuing my PhD, and that has given me a very fresh appreciation for, what are the things that we can do towards conducting a in-depth research and
Right.
reflecting on the takeaways, right? It has really taught me how to pause, question assumptions for sure, and look at challenges through multiple lenses. When you do all of that, in many ways, this is how we are trying to approach learning at Ericsson, right? How do we combine data and human experiences, put theory into action? So I think all these conversions in some ways will help us create and leverage the platforms that we have to shape our thinking about talent, about ways of working, about technology. And the bigger message I would have is we've got to be more intentional and inclusive when we talk about learning and our learning approach at Ericsson.
Absolutely. Very, very well summarized, Priyanka, there. And it was a lovely conversation. Thank you so much for being a part of L&D Superfood. And now to our viewers, please stay tuned to ETHR World L&D Superfood for more exciting episodes as we dive deeper into the world of L&D and bring you more insights from the top professionals in the industry. You can catch our other episodes from the series on our YouTube channel in our L&D Superfood playlist. And until next time, keep learning and keep growing.